Hi, I'm Neil from EA Media. Bear with me. As you can tell, I have a new background, new back office. I've been warning everybody about new stuff coming out, and this is the result of it. So have a little patience with us. Things will get better as we go along. Hope you like the new look and feel. Wanted to talk to you about what I view as probably the highlight of my career, and that's doing the security architecture work for the Vancouver Olympics. When I was brought in, there was around a year left before the Olympics itself started. A lot of the base infrastructure had already been put into place, but all the individual systems still had to be designed. The other aspect is the primary main media center still had not been designed and put into place. So I became the enterprise architect for designing the main media center, as well as designing the individual security components and putting those into place. And there's a number of lessons that I think you could take away from that experience. First thing to think about. Most people, when they think about the Olympics, they think the stakeholder, the primary stakeholder, is the end user, the viewer, the audience. And it's not. One of the things I learned was that the primary stakeholder for the Olympics or any sporting event are the media. You have these large organizations paying millions and millions of dollars for the right to broadcast the sporting event to their customers. So that's who your primary stakeholder is in these games. The NBCs of the world, the CBCs, the Japanese networks, that sort of thing. So I had to understand what the sporting event stakeholders were. Next, the second thing to really understand about any sporting event is it's designed for a very short period of time, and the availability of the systems has to be 100%. So think about it. For the Vancouver Olympics, the Games and the Paralympics went from the beginning of February to the beginning of March. And during that period of time, everything had to be up 100%. It could not be down. So that went into the process for designing all the various systems. So first example, we used physical servers rather than virtual servers. Why? Because we wanted to reduce the number of components, the number of things that could possibly fail. Remember, we're talking about an uptime of 100%. Most organizations have maybe 99.9% uptime, 3 nines. In the extreme cases, you're talking 5 nines for really important systems, 99.999%. But for the Olympics, for any sporting event which is just for a short period, it has to be up 100%. So we went with physical. If we went with virtual, think about the various different components. You would have your virtual server, you'd have the operating system in that virtual server, but you'd also have the backplane, the ESX, that the virtual servers are connected to. And if something happened to that ESX, all of a sudden, every virtual server it's supporting would go down. So we wanted to make sure that we're isolating any failures just to individual boxes. And we'd have hot spares that we could swap in and out, that sort of thing. You do that with physical servers. Second, the resources we went into and put into those individual servers also was taken into consideration. So normally you'd be looking for utilization of resources around the 50% mark, so that any spikes would get up into the 90%, but would never go to 100%. We needed to make sure nothing ever impacted anything. So our utilization goal was 5% of resources. If it started going above the 5%, then all of a sudden we have a situation where we're worried that a server may not be able to handle a load. So that's the resources side of things. Now let's think about the integrity aspect. Remember, security is all about confidentiality, integrity, availability. We've just been talking about the availability. There's also the integrity, because when you're talking about the Olympics, you're talking about race speeds. And the integrity of those speeds is very important. So you need to make sure that nobody can impact the information coming out of the game's network. So we completely isolated it. So now, if you think about it, in a normal corporate environment, you will have potential ingress points of, say, the web portal that can be hacked. Maybe a Wi-Fi can be leveraged. Maybe there's an open network port that somebody forgot to lock down. All of a sudden, they're into your corporate network and they can tunnel through to the games. Well, we couldn't allow that possibility. So now you're talking about a completely isolated games network using Citrix so that nobody could get in and get out without the requirements. So remember a few of these lessons when you're doing your design work. 1, make sure you completely understand who your primary stakeholders are. 2, understand what the primary security requirement is. Is it confidentiality? Is it integrity? Is it availability? Understand that from talking with your stakeholders. And if you keep those lessons in mind, your solution should work well for your business because you're designing to support your business. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like this video, take a look at some of the other videos we have on our YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe. That way you can help grow the EA Media community. I'm Neil Rare from EA Media, and I hope this helps.